Fox 29 helping you decide. A little more than 2 weeks to go before Election Day. President Obama, as you see there, is taking it easy today, spending some time at Camp David before heading to Boca Raton, Florida for tomorrow night's debate. Republican challenger Mitt Romney also took some time off today from the campaign trail. He's already in Florida, and as you can see, he watched his staff take on the media in a friendly game of football. Romney didn't actually play, but he did oversee the coin toss, as you saw. The latest poll shows the two candidates are in a dead heat. According to the new NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, President Obama and Mitt Romney are tied at 47% among likely voters. Before the debates, now President Obama was leading Romney by 3 points. One issue coming up during the entire campaign season has been the high price of gasoline. But recently, prices have been falling steadily. According to AAA, the national average for a regular gallon of gas, unleaded, is $3.67. That's down from $3.79 a week ago. But that doesn't mean a whole lot to Pennsylvania drivers who are still paying more than the national average. Gas in the Keystone State costs $3.80 a gallon, while in Delaware, a gallon of regular will cost you $3.68. And New Jersey's just under the average at $3.66. Discussion over gas prices had sparks flying during the last presidential debate. That was last week. And it may come up again in the candidates' third and final face-off before the election. And financial experts Elliot Miller and Jean Marks have something to say about that and other economic issues on the table. Hi, Elliot. Hi, Jean.
Hi, Joyce.
Well, Elliot, you started off with the gas prices. Could the president have gotten them lower?
You know, in some ways, presidents are hostages or beneficiaries of what's already taking place. The truth is, if I went back 5 years, I could tell you that gas prices are lower now than they were then, even though they dropped from $4.07 to $1.85 by the time Obama became president. Now, one of the things that did that was the economy was in such a bad state, we lost 700,000 plus jobs that month, too. I think we'd still take the trade-off of higher gas prices with a better economy.
Yeah, but Elliot, I disagree a little bit with what you're saying, because it's not just where the economy was before. I mean, the economy is growing so slowly now that inventories of gas are building up and demand is still down. So although it's nice that we're having, gas prices are going lower, it's kind of like when you lose weight when you're sick. You're kind of happy to lose a little weight, but the reason why you're losing weight isn't so good.
Well,
so,
there's no doubt that we're in a slow recovery, but we are in a recovery from the worst economy of our lifetimes.
Let's move on a little bit. Jean, you're a small businessman. Romney promises 12 million jobs. Is that possible? And where do these numbers come from?
Well, first of all, Joyce, let me tell you, any politician that's going to be promising any number of jobs, you have to take that with a grain of salt. So I don't know if I believe that or not. But let me tell you where the number's coming from. Right now, where we are is we're still 12 million jobs less than what we were before the recession. So we added 114,000 jobs last month. We need to be adding 250,000 jobs over the next 4 years to get to that $12 million job number. That's where Romney is coming from. Now, is that the case? I mean, some firms, they are predicting that we're going to add those jobs anyway, no matter who's president, but they're also using some rosy forecasts of growth. And again, Romney himself is looking at our economy and saying we're only growing at 1.8% per year. There has to be some other stuff done to increase jobs.
Yeah, and the good news for Romney is that some great economists, including Moody's Analytics, are predicting that those jobs will come. The bad news for Romney is that they're saying no matter who the president is, all you really have to do is get more growth, which we're probably going to get anyway, and housing and construction have come back, which are really going to help those numbers.
Let's go on to tax reform now. A lot of promises, but still a lot of questions about the math. Is it adding up? Elliot, you're a numbers guy.
Yeah,
how can it work?
You can't make the numbers that Romney's talking about work. You can't cut taxes across the board 20%, add $2 trillion to the defense budget, and come anywhere near what you need to do with the deficit. It just can't. It's not possible. If he said 5%, you could do it.
And I got to come back. I mean, look, both candidates have hundreds of economists that support and have designed their own plans. I mean, Romney alone has 500 economists, Nobel Prize winners and academics that say, yes, those numbers can work. So it's very difficult when you're looking at it to see who you believe. How can you have so many smart people, so many well-known economists that have such differing opinions on whether these tax decreases or increases are going to make a difference or not?
And neither one of them them has specified what they're going to cut, and without knowing that, it's just you can't figure it out.
That is a very good question. And again, we're talking about the deficit and the fiscal cliff. Either of these candidates, they are offering solutions. Maybe there's a lot of talk. I can't understand it, but I got a feeling that they don't really want to tell voters what they have to do because it's a little hard. Gene, you first.
100%, Joyce. And I'll tell you the reason why. When you look at government expenditures over the past few years, 41% of the government's expenditures goes to some type of insurance, whether it's health care, Social Security, Medicaid, or Medicare. And no matter what the candidates are proposing, neither of them are really proposing some hard decisions to how they're going to cut that 41%. And until they do, they're never really going to be eating into the annual deficits and our national debt.
Elliot, wrap it up for us.
That's been one of the big disappointments of this campaign. We do need some tough medicine now. We have an aging population, not as many people supporting these insurance programs, and nobody is talking about it. The fiscal cliff, if it comes up, is going to be a horrendous thing.
All right, Elliot Miller, Gene Marks, you guys were pretty lively today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Joyce.
Take care. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
Well, even though the topic is foreign policy, we're probably going to be hearing about a lot